It is May 9th, 2018. We're here at 8455 Lake Bend in San Diego, California, 92119. We're going to inspect the main sewer line as well as the drain line for the kitchen and laundry. We're here on the rooftop. The only clean out we saw was on the sidewalk for the property line clean out, where the city appears to have replaced their line from the sidewalk out into the street. So we're here going through the access to the main, which was essentially the 3-inch vent. This is the original 3-inch cast iron vent. This will lead directly into the beginning of the main sewer line for the house for the 2 toilets. These 2 bathrooms are back to back with each other, the master and the hall. So we can see some toilet paper or wipes there that have been flushed down the line. It could even possibly be maybe a diaper or something. It's hard to say there. Looks like a bunch of wipes. You can see even paper towels. You can see the texture on there. So, see, that's hanging in the line right after the toilet. And now we're in the horizontal sewer main running towards the front of the house, out towards the street, of course. So this appears to be 3-inch cast iron. It's the original, of course, for the house. Okay, right here on the left side of the screen, that's a T-junction or a Y-junction laying on its side. I suspect that is the 2-inch drain line for the kitchen and laundry where it's emptying into the system. We're going to go ahead and continue, of course, down the line, and we'll leave this push rod in there, and then we'll push a smaller camera down through the kitchen if we can, and we'll see if it intersects at this spot. So far, very minimal buildup or scale of deposits on the line. Looks nice and open so far. Okay, right there you can see it. It's hard to kind of see, but there's a vertical opening on the line right there, another T-junction. I don't know if that's a buried clean out or if that is actually another entry point. So it was just a few feet past the first one. It was unlikely that the first one was another connection from another one of the bathrooms, but we do have another T-junction right there on the line. That could be where the kitchen and laundry empty into. Or the first one could have been the kitchen if they ran it completely separate, and the second was the laundry. But we'll go ahead and continue down the pipe here. So again, everything looks really good. We did flush the toilets when we first arrived here because the place is vacant. We wanted to make sure that the line was free of water because you don't want to see any standing water anywhere, which would dictate improper slope on the line. So we just made a slight turn on the system. Pipe still looks good. Okay, here we have another junction on the line right there. Pipe still looks in good condition. You can see a little bit of mounds of buildup on the left-hand side there. That's just some of the standard buildup you'd see, but everything still looks nice and clean and good. Okay, looks like we've got a transition to ABS plastic here. So it looks like in the front yard there may be actually a clean out that's just buried under the grass or the landscaping of some type somewhere, because we can see that somebody cut into this line and then added this junction right here. So we have a clean out, and then you can see there's another clean out. It's called a double sweep, so you can go in either direction if needing to clean out the system. So we'll locate that on the property. We're going to continue to push down the line. So this is again new black plastic pipe here. Still all new plastic. So somebody dug up quite a bit of this. They might have had root intrusions in the past and had to replace the line to correct the problem or correct the failing pipe. Or even there could have been problems out in the street, but the city has also replaced that. So we don't expect to find any issues probably past this point, but we'll see here. Okay, here's a turn on the line. Still all new plastic. Okay, here's our next downward turn. You can see this is actually a T-fitting as well. So you can see that this, as we go straight forward, turning into a vertical pipe, it has an outlet to it on the top. So we suspect that this is actually getting really close to the property line. So after this downward turn, we should eventually be able to then transition into the newer pipe the city put in. Now you can see here we have a clean transition into the vertical cast iron. And this vertical cast iron is going to transition back to horizontal, and right after it does here for a short distance, we should be running into what the city possibly replaced. I've got a couple hard turns in a row there, so we may have to turn some water on to get some friction reduced on the line to try to get this camera farther out. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video and get some water running on the system. Okay, you can see we have water cascading down the line now. So we're going to see if this is going to help get our camera out a little bit further here. Sometimes we still have to change out the whole camera itself to one that might be able to maneuver through these long turns. These two 90-degree turns are so tight to each other, it's like an S-shaped quick turn, so we're not able to get out farther with this particular camera. We do have another specialty one, but what we're going to do is we're going to pull back our camera here just a little bit, because as we came back up this spot right here, we're going to encounter this clean out. So again, that is a clean out. Now, it should have been brought to surface, so we suspect that it's probably pretty close. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and position our camera right here on the horizontal, and we're going to pause the video and go locate this and see if this is under the grass in the front yard. Okay, so we moved a second camera down to the front because we were able to locate, kind of covered up by the grass. Here is the plastic ABS clean out, the 3-inch we were looking for. Again, we had to peel back some of the grass to find that. So our camera system's up there on the rooftop from the hall bathroom coming down and across. And so we made it down to this spot. So we're going to go ahead and show this. So here's the property line clean out they put in when they replaced this line. There's the opening coming from our other camera made it to. We were able to go down this vertical 3-inch and this 90, and then we weren't able to push all the way down and across, so now we'll be able to continue that. Okay, so you can see right here, unfortunately, we have a very large root intrusion here where the city pipe is connecting right at the edge of the sidewalk at the end of the lawn. So the pipe that was replaced here in the front yard was certainly done because they probably had a failure or just a lot of heavy root intrusions. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick photo of this. So we'll locate this, but we basically know that this is right on the edge of the grass, the sidewalk. And then again, here you can see the clean out, this white fitting. It's a T-junction, and that's the concrete lid that's in the sidewalk. So we'll push down all this just to see. So actually, it looks like we've got a little hump here. This is the original clay pipe. We'll see if this was lined. Yeah, this was lined. So this is the original clay pipe, and what they did was they dug up the sidewalk and put in a little bit of plastic pipe with a new clean out, but they pulled a liner through. So you can see that there's numbers on the left side of the pipe there in the left wall. This is the pull-through liner. So the clay pipe probably had a lot of root intrusions, but they've remedied that, the city and their contractors, by relining this clay pipe. This is 4-inch clay pipe. So we'll push this all the way out, Here's the liner, the full, then you can see all the large numbers on the reline, the large pipe in this middle of the street. So this is the end of this lateral line for this house. So now we're going to go ahead and pause the video and pull back to the root intrusion and go ahead and just mark that and locate the depth. Okay, so we've gone ahead and located this junction, which is just what we thought, right where the grass and the sidewalk meet and the front yard here. And so the pipe is 64 inches deep. It's 5 feet 4 inches deep, so it's extremely deep. That's why this horizontal run you're seeing across here and then back to this vertical run is where they stopped. So right here is where the horizontal line from the house connects. You can actually see my camera head right there in the screen on the bottom right. That's our other camera that we left in the system there. So we'll come back out just to show this above ground. So again, the line comes across the front yard to this point and then moves over, and here's our roots at 64 inches deep. We did paint the grass with some green paint as well. And then obviously a foot away is the sewer clean out we saw that the city put in with their plastic piping. So we've essentially got approximately from the city line here where their plastic is to this is just a little under 4 feet across to this ABS plastic pipe. So vertically down and then across, that would all have to be changed out if they ever wanted to repair those roots. Otherwise, it can be maintained with a hydrojetting or using an expansion cutter that is able to go down 3-inch pipe to get to that 4-inch to cut those roots out. Then there's a foaming chemical treatment that a plumber or homeowner can put down on an annual basis to keep those from growing back in too aggressively so that it doesn't back up or you have to have it snaked very often. So now we're going to go ahead and pause the video and move over to the kitchen line. Okay, we now moved over to the side of the house here, and this is the clean out for the kitchen drains, the original cast iron line. We have a very small camera. This is not self-leveling. It's literally only about 0.61 inches in diameter. And for kitchen lines, we never know how much buildup is going to be in there the last time it's been snaked or cleaned out. So we'll see if we're able to get through this, but that's why we're using a very small camera, because sometimes this is very constricted with a lot of debris. So far the 2-inch line looks pretty good and open. Just trying to check every once in a while here to see if we see a 2-inch T-junction where the laundry might connect into this kitchen line. We do have a utility sink, so we may run some water through there to see if it empties into the pipe, if we just didn't see it because of the shadow and low lighting from this camera head being so small. Line still looks good overall for the age and being, again, 2-inch cast iron. And the kitchen obviously gets an enormous amount of food and fat and grease and debris. So, looks like a little mound right there. And looks like there's a T-junction right there. And then we're nice and clear and open, and I think we went into the next larger pipe already, possibly into the main. We've got some water there. We'll see. We're just going to keep pushing because we actually left our other camera head in there, so actually we haven't gotten to the main yet because we did leave our other push rod in there. There we go. Here's the end of the line right there. So there's the original push rod from the rooftop where we started everything. So this kitchen line is intact and has no problems all the way out into the main. So that's good because this is a long run. It's, again, original 2-inch cast iron. So now I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the camera back, and then we're going to run some water down the laundry to see where that junction's in, if it is into this line. So we're going to pause the video and start pulling back. Okay, so we have the laundry drain running right now through the utility sink, which is also for the washing machine. It's the same pipe. So you can see coming up here, we got a little bit of water and it's dumping into the system in the upper left there. You can see it trickling into the line. So right there is our T-junction, which is what we saw going by really close to the main. So they don't tie in together for quite a ways actually. So that line is open and draining into there. So then we'll go ahead and show we got quite a distance for the kitchen. It is its completely own pipe. It doesn't tie into the laundry that early on. There we go, and we're back out. So wipe off our lens. So we're back out to the side here. So this is the kitchen. So we're going to go ahead and move another specialty camera over to the toilet. So when we first started, we could see all those paper towels or a diaper wipe in the one toilet bowl. We're going to put another special camera that can sometimes make it through the toilets and check both of them, because that obviously needs to be augured and cleaned out. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, we're now here in the hall bath. So again, this is the vent that we went down. We saw a bunch of paper towels and debris or wipes or diaper or something in the line. We're going to make sure this toilet line, if we're able to get this camera through, is clear throughout. Not a guarantee we'll be able to get this camera down through the bends, but sometimes we can. Looking like this particular model, the trapway design is not allowing us to get this flexible camera through here. So now this is again the line that we saw the paper hanging from the closet arm, which is the beginning of the cast iron turn after the toilet empties into it before it connects to that vent that we went down. So this needs to be augured out from the toilet. A 6-foot auger will reach those and be able to clear those out, especially with water running down the bowl, and flush those. But then it will need to be ensured that they're pushed down the rest of the line and don't snag farther down the sewer main. So you would probably want to have another camera done at that time to make sure that they're flushed out and pushed all the way down the system. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video and move over to the master bath toilet, see if we're able to get down that junction. Okay, so now here in the master bath, we'll see if we have any difference. It looks like they might be the same model toilet, so I don't think we're going to have any luck, but we're of course going to give it a try just to see. And this does have its own vent because it's not back to back with the master bath or the hall bath. So we will come down this vent to see if there's anything hanging off of this line. So it looks like, yeah, these are an older model Kohler Wellworth, and so the trap design on this is not going to let this camera pass through the entire China trapway and out into the cast iron feed. So we're not going to be able to check each bowl, but obviously they're flushing right now. We know to clear. Just because we saw that paper, we wanted to try to triple check this. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to go ahead and move back over to the rooftop, pull out the main camera where we were in and show those paper objects, and then we'll move over to the rest of the laundry as well as this toilet here, the master bath vent. Okay, so now here on the rooftop, again, there's the vent and our camera system, the original one through the hall bath. As we move over to here, this is the 2-inch vent for this master bath. At least it should be. It may, though, not be directly over the toilet. In fact, yeah, we can see there's a little angle here. So we'll see if this leads in over the toilet junction. There's a T-junction right there. That's because this is the vent being shared by both the lavatory and the toilet. So this Y branch right here we're stopped at may be the one leading towards the toilet itself. But we're going to go ahead and still put this down here. Okay, we can see we've got an opening. A little bit of debris on the line here. So this is the main here that we're now dumping across into for this bathroom. And this will carry across and junction into. And here you go. Here's where this pipe from the master connects. There's our push rod from the hall bathroom sewer main. So this is another one of those T-junctions we saw as we're passing down, and that's because, again, this bathroom is offset. So this line does look nice and clear. We don't have any heavy towels, at least. You see a little bit of white toilet paper bunched up on the walls there, little shreds, but we are looking for large particulate or large wipes or towelettes like we saw in the other. So we're now coming back up the dry vent here. So this line for this master bath is all clear. Now back out to the rooftop here, wipe our camera lens off. We're going to move over, pause the video and move over to the laundry. Okay, here's their laundry. Here's our water heater vent here, and then for some reason they put a cap over the laundry. These are just for fuel burning vents. I'm not sure why they put that over there. You actually don't want to cover up the vent. When you drop it over like that, like they had, sorry about that, you're actually blocking, the flat part of the pipe was resting on this. That's actually stopping the sewer gases from leaving and not letting air get big in the line. So we'll leave that cap off. That should not be on this line. So this is the 1.5-inch original vent for the laundry. So again, we saw where the laundry dumped into the kitchen. So here's the T opening where the utility sink and again the actual washer dumps into the line. So this is all the original 2-inch cast iron here. We're now in the horizontal pipe underground. And we just have to run this until we hit the next Y junction, and that's where this then junctions in with the kitchen and they become one pipe. Here's a little junction right there, might be a buried clean out. And here's our main. So here's our other push rod. We actually kept going all the way out. So there we go. That's where this line connects into the main sewer. So the laundry is in good shape and completely functional. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video and move back over to the main. Okay, so we're back on the original camera we started with, going through the main. We've already pulled back a majority of the way. We're now coming close to where this horizontal pipe's going to transition back up the vertical, and there you go. Here's all these wipes that are in the line. We'll take some individual snapshot photos of this. So, see the little perforated holes in there. It's very strange. I'm not sure what brand or what those exactly are. Those almost look like rubberized, but they're probably a paper product. It's hard to say. So again, these are all bunched up in the lines, as you can see here. So they've actually made their way out of that part of that toilet. So you can see there's some still hanging right there. So again, the toilet needs to be augured, and then with the camera, make sure that that white debris hanging right there is out. That's some of those objects. And then farther down here, you can see all these heavy things. Never seen that kind before. Is going to need to be flushed out. So tons of water will need to be run down the line, and it's possibly needs a metal snake or the camera itself pushing this with the water to get it all the way out to the city and out of this pipe. As you can see, these are so thick and heavy, and there's so many of them as we try to run by here. Those could easily clog on that root intrusion that's blocking a majority of the line and cause a mainline stoppage really quick. So, again, there's those wipes. That's where the toilet dumps into the line right there. So now just pulling back up through this vertical vent and back out here. So the line needs to be cleaned up here on this main to remove those paper products, and then the roots need to be cleaned up over by the sidewalk area. We recommend this be done prior to anybody moving in and starting using the facilities on a constant basis. So that concludes this recording.